guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deborah. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. If you are a returning subscriber, hi, thank you for coming back to watch my content. Today I have my husband with me. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
So my name is Michael Agbola, and I'm the husband of this beautiful young woman.
And today we will be talking about how to deal with societal pressure. And without further ado and parara, can we please dive straight into action?
Societal pressure, I'm sure at one point in time in our lives, every one of us have had some kind of encounter with pressure from friends, from family, from even strangers, right?
That's very annoying.
Yeah, well, it's just how the society is made. In fact, at some point, you've also given someone pressure.
Yes, preach it.
But then in life, there's always pressure coming from people about, oh, by this age, this is what you should be doing. By you already have this amount, this job, or this amount of money, you should be sending money back home. You should have this car at this time, and different things like that, right? To overcome it, really, the first thing you should do is to understand that there will always be pressure. Understand, because most people, I think it catches them unawares, some kind of pressures that they might feel at certain points in their life. The kind of pressure you feel when you are 10 years old will definitely be different from the kind of pressure you feel when you are 16, 20, 25, 30, right? At every point in time in your life, you need to understand that there will always be pressure. And you want to take other people's examples, for instance. When someone is already at the age of 24, 26, there is this pressure to get married. In fact, when you are already at the age of 20, there is this pressure to get money. I mean, that's all about it now. You need to understand that there will always be pressure. If you have this knowledge, you have this understanding, then it is easier for you to deal with. Because the lack of that knowledge makes it shock you when those pressure come, especially when it comes from strangers. In fact, you find out that they are even from your friends, and then that's why you start calling some friends enemies, because you feel they are giving you unnecessary and undue pressure to come from uncles, aunties, even parents.
That friend you spoke about, there was a friend of mine that got married. I told you, but you will not remember.
Okay.
So after our marriage, she called me. After our wedding, she called me that whole the wedding. Thanks for your support and all that. And the next thing was, and you know, she said, you to do quick, do your own, do. That thing did not sit well with me, because is it because you are now married? You are now telling me that I should do quick and get married. You don't have to. I felt pressured. Like, what's all this? Like,
so it's always there. And there was this friend also that after he got married, he was like, oh, so I'm your senior now. You should, start getting married and all that. Well, these are just funny takes, right? These are just funny examples. But in your real sense of, at one point or the other, it's not just about pressure to get married. The pressure to get a good job, the pressure to buy iPhone, pressure to get a car, the pressure to do more than your colleagues.
For some people, it's the pressure to buy luxury things, like I want to have every bag, I want to wear a particular brand. So when I enter a room, it'll be like, haha, it's plenty.
When in the real sense of it, when you can't afford it, you should just do with the one you can afford. Understand that there will always be pressure.
So you have shock absorber. Let's move to the next one. I feel it is important to make your decision plain and you live your life off your decision. Now, for instance, when you enter the university, 4 years after you've entered the university, if you are in Nigeria, as a strike would come. Then if you are in a kind of school, maybe they strike often, and people see that you've been in school for 4 years, 5 years, you are not graduated. They will be like, if I were not my school, when will you be done with school? Your younger sister that entered university 2 years after you, she's done with her school and all that. That is the kind of pressure. Now, when you are done with school, the next pressure is, when are you getting married? Or even as a man, immediately you are done with school, you pressurize you to get a job. When you get the job, When are you getting married? Or maybe you bought a car. So now that you have a car, you have an apartment, the next thing is getting married. Now, after getting married, they'll pressurize you. When are you having a baby? Why is your wife not pregnant? Those pressures would keep coming. But if you have your own decisions made, when I am done with school, I want to work for 4 years before I get married. When I get married, I want to do this. You have your plan. So there's no pressure you want to mount on me that would make me alter my plan. I used to get pressurized before now, but I think 2 years ago, I had a different mentality that my life is my own and I should live based off my decision so that I can be happy. For some people, their family members, their mom, their dad, their siblings always giving them pressures, do this, do that, do that. So, have your decisions plain. What do you want to do with your own life? When do you want to achieve your goals? Not when your mom is saying, oh yeah, when are you getting married? You're not like, mommy said I should get married this year. They'll be pressurizing your boyfriend. Like, oh yeah. My mommy said you should get married. No. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Your mom has lived her life to a certain point and she's enjoying her life. So, I believe if I have a child now, I'll live my life to enjoy his or her life. Even though I am bringing them up in the way of God, but it is important I give them the choice to make their decisions, not try to micromanage them to say, oh yeah, at this point of your life, you must do this. So I have learned to allow me to enjoy myself. Let's move to the next point.
Understand the best course of action for your life. Of course, you don't know what tomorrow says, but per time, you should be able to come up with the best course of action for yourself. Because the people that pressure you have this mentality that they know what is best for you.
Yeah, they know the next thing you should do.
And if you don't know the best course of action you should take for yourself, then it's easy to accept. It's easy to yield into the pressure, right? But then, as I said, you should always select and choose the best course of action for your life per time, right? Because if you don't do that, people are going to do that for you. And the reason for the pressure is because people always have this feeling that they know what is best for you. In fact, some people approach you and they ask for your age. What age are you? 26? By now you should be married. Or let me even connect you with some, because they always feel that you don't know the best course of action for your life, and they have this experience that they want to imbibe in you, they want to force it on you. And that's why I said, if you don't know the best course of action for yourself, people are going to make it for you. And when they make it for you, you are going to accept it easy because you don't have a plan for yourself. When you have the best course of action for your life at time, it's easy for you to handle when people approach you, try to pressure you into following their own plan. So
then understand that your decision is more important than the pressure coming. Let me give you an instance. I have a friend, she got married, that was 3 years ago. So immediately she got married and they were planning to travel to Canada. But they did not have enough money, so they were trying to save up, and they knew that having a child immediately would kind of have an effect on their plan, most especially because it is not that they have that money like that. So they were saving a particular percentage of their earnings. So for the 3 years, they did not have a child. They actually traveled last year. That was December. Now she has traveled. Now, what could have kept her in the 3 years when she was in Nigeria? And trust me, Nigerian parents and neighbors would keep saying, Ibeji, if you are not pregnant. She would get different pressure during the time frame, both the husband and wife. But they understood that they wanted their child to be a citizen of Canada, and they are working towards that. So that was their goal. Okay.
You should be determined, but don't be aggressive. Be determined about your decision. Understand that your decision about certain times in your life are much more important than other people's opinion. You should choose the best course of action for your life, right? Now, when you choose that best course of action for your life, be determined about it. Be determined about it. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be flexible or try to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind and try to look at other people's perspectives as well at times. Because things change as you grow, and as time goes by. So when someone is giving you an advice, look at it, look at that other person's perspective, observe it, research about it, and see if it is important enough for you to consider. But don't just take people's advice blatantly without even giving high value to your own decisions, right? So be determined. Don't be aggressive. Don't be aggressive about people trying to tell you how to live your life. First, you should understand that they might be concerned about you and they feel that, so they are trying to advise you out of their own concerns. But at the same time, you should let them understand that you know the best course of action for your own life. But don't be aggressive about it. Be diplomatic, right? Oh, thank you. Or I don't think you should advise me. You can tell them in a
nice
good way, in a nice way. But at the end of the day, it boils down to you, right? They may not present their opinions very well, but it could be a very good opinion. So, do you want to take it? Do you want to observe it? Do you want to consider it? It's left to you.
So the next point I have here is you should understand that some people are trying to pressure you out of love. Why some people are trying to pressure you out of, they just want to know what is going on in your life. Like, do you have someone you are dating? When are you getting married? Not like they love you deep down. Why some people it is out of love? So people that are trying to talk to you out of love, say your auntie, your mom, your dad, like do this. You can explain to them why you are doing what you are doing. But like, okay, I am not getting married now because I want to achieve this, this, and that. Personally, my parents did not pressurize me to get married. But some people encounter that. So you explain to people that are close. But there are some parents that you may explain, you know, most of these old people, they kind of have a fixed mindset, like, you're supposed to do it this way. So,
and I think it also depends on how you handle them.
Them too.
In terms of trying to let them know that you are wise as well.
Yeah.
You have the tendency to make up your own mind.
And if they say you'll be making smart decisions for yourself for you, while they can trust you, like, okay, I got you, you got this.
But when they know that,
decision buruk. I know you don't make good decisions, they may be on your neck.
Yeah.
So explain to people that you feel like they are acting out of love. And for people that I think that they are trying to poke nose, you tell them in a nice way, I think this is a personal thing to me. You do not have to be rude. Some people, if you see that they are giving you pressure, which you do not need, learn how to use your block button. Like, you can block people off. For instance, maybe you are trying to get married or you are trying to have a baby and someone is always in your DM. Afa, are you pregnant? Or Afa, have you gotten a toaster? And the pressure is unbearable. You would block the person off. Do you understand? You cannot give in, because most times people like that, not like they care, they just want to shoo.
All right. So basically, choose your own who you want to continue to interact with. If you think some people are bringing in too much unnecessary pressure, I think for your own sake and for your own sanity, it's best you block them, or you remove them from your contact list or something, so that they don't have continuous easy access to you, right? But for those that love you, try to find a way to explain to them, not elaborately, but in a way to get them off your back, right?
So lastly, I want you to know that people would always pressure you to get a job, to get married, to have your first child. Even when you have your first child, when are you having the next? The pressure cannot stop. And if you are watching this, please try your best not to pressure people. These things get to some people than you think. I personally made up my mind not to ask people when are you getting married. If you are my friend and you want to share with me, fine. But none of my friends have ever gotten married and I ask them, are you pregnant? I don't ask people stuff that are none of my business. I feel that if you trust me enough and you are going through a challenge, you would come to me and confide in me. Maybe you think I can give you some things. And if not, if I'm led to pray with you, I would do that. So please, try as much as possible not to try to pressurize people. When are you doing this? When are you doing that? Allow people to enjoy their lives. This life is only once.
And also don't pressure other people as well. Try not to pressure other people. Remember when you wanted to pressure me to drink custard yesterday?
Jesus!
I love you.
Is that not
Start.
pressure?
That's prayer. Wife prayer.
Husband pressure. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button so that YouTube can push out this video to more people that would love to see this content. And do well to subscribe and share on your WhatsApp status so people that used to pressurize people can know that it is actually not a good thing. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I am going to see you in my next video. Bye. And thanks for coming.
The man jump. Bema.
I'm hood, like
You are
agbalagba.
you are hood.
Yes.
Lavish. Aburo, you are
Come
pointless.
to be able to the point. Are you okay? Are you on this video? Please click the like button so YouTube can push out to. If you enjoyed it.